Welcome, you guys, to the show. I didn't know you were down here. Are you someone who? I am a person. One thing I'm trying to stop doing is asking people a question when what I'm trying to do is tell them something about them.
Oh, I do that so much.
So I am a person who. Here, I'll show you. This will be a good.
Are we live?
We're recording.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So I told you I was late the other day for Eli. Right?
Yeah.
And it was to work on this thing. I think he's okay with anybody knowing this, but keep this between you and I for now.
The camera's recording us right now.
Right. It don't worry about it. So I helped Eli shoot this thing.
Okay.
This is the intro.
My name is Eli Wilz, and this is Crickets, a show for nobody.
What's the music? Like, did you?
It's some royalty-free thing that he found.
Okay. Actually fit pretty well.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, I mean,
I edited it too.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it was pure
Oh
happenstance. I made all these cuts to a specific beat that I just had in my mind.
Looked up saxophone for a thing called Crickets. And caught them. Yeah.
So I am a person where if I'm working on a project for someone else, I have the motivation and the ability to give it my all and make sure it's as good as possible. But when I'm working on my projects, it is almost as if I don't have those skills. Another example would be, I'm a good graphic designer. The stuff I've been making for Jeff lately, Jeff Osmus, I'm super proud of.
Sorry.
When I try and sit down and design an advertisement for my services as a graphic designer, I'm like, pencil.
Yeah.
This is a pencil.
Oh, I feel it. I also can't bring myself to like pour everything into a job for a company I don't really care about.
Yes.
I think that boils down to like, oh, my boss or like the person grading me or like, or judging me on this thing is someone I respect. Yeah, you respect Jeff, you respect Eli. Like, I want them to have a good opinion of me. Like, you will pour, even if it's subconscious, you'll pour yourself into that. When it's yourself, you're like, oh, I'm my boss? I hate that guy.
It's interesting because I don't think it's that for me.
No?
I could give two shits about what the people I know think about it.
Sure.
Which is weird. I do care, but what I do care about is that it's good so that everyone thinks it's good.
Right. Okay, yeah. Fair,
But that's what it's about when I'm working on it for someone else. Why is that not it for me? Why do I not go to approach my stuff of, hey, this should be so good that everyone thinks it's good?
Right.
For me, it's always, this is good enough. And it's because I'm neurodivergent. It's because I'm ADHD. Because for me, I'm not being paid to do it by that's another big factor, is being paid.
Sure.
For me, it's the ADHD nature of it needs to be to a point and then I got to get it out because of two things. I desperately want people to see this thing.
Right.
And also, I'm already 5 or 6 steps into my next idea. And this thing that I've done to this point now disgusts me.
Cooled off, yeah.
Not cooled off.
Yeah.
It's become diarrhea.
Sure.
I am disgusted by it. I love it. I love what it is now. But I am disgusted by the idea of having to work on it.
You get or like the mentally satiated by like being exposed to it for hours and hours and hours.
Yes. Good enough is the enemy of finishing a project.
Sure.
It's a formidable foe.
Well, wait. I would say good enough is it's the thing that makes finishing a project most possible. It's the enemy of like feeling your most possible pride in a project, I think. Because like,
I would make the argument that a project that does not stand up to your standards is not a finished project.
Okay, sure.
It's not. Good enough does not mean it's finished. Good enough means I give up. Good enough is giving up. That's what it is.
I guess you can view it that way. I also can view, I'm someone I'm trying to get to good enough because I think I have an issue of like, this isn't going in the direction I want it to. This is not up to the standards of my taste.
Well, we're talking about two different types of good enough.
Right. I think that's the case.
Yeah.
You ever hear we're just going to quote stuff this whole time. You ever hear, I think it's the Ira Glass quote where he talks about the kind of dissonance when you're like starting out like a creative endeavor or something where like your
yeah.
taste is like a lot higher than your ability,
Yeah.
and that's like a really painful.
You say that on her Big Liz podcast?
Maybe.
I think he talked about it over there.
But yeah, that's one of the things I keep thinking about is like, or I try to think about to like get myself to try to make something that I consider good enough, and then the next one will be better, and the next one will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're definitely talking.
we're talking about
different
different ones.
types of good enough.
Yeah.
Because you want to be good enough to do this thing. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying,
this is possible.
man, I really wanted to pay an illustrator to illustrate the beginning of this title card. Like this thing I was able to put together with whatever is good enough.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not what I want to do, but it's good enough because I'm done with this project and I just need to give up on it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I feel like you're talking about like, it's like the feeling of like you just put out like a 6 out of 10. Like it's like a C level thing. You
for sure.
Pass, but you know you can get to 10. I feel like I'm talking about putting out a 6 out of 6, and then the next time hopefully being able to make that the
you're talking
denominator
about a level of success, and I'm talking about giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just a discipline thing. That's kind of the major element of it is I have not proven to myself that I'm able to like actually execute.
Keep talking. I'm listening. I need to grab my notebook.
Sure. What did you? Yeah, I've not proven to myself that like I can execute on.
All right, time out. I gotta go upstairs because my notebook is upstairs. You were talking about executing.
Discipline is the thing I know I'm lacking, which is one of the suckier ones to lack, because like that's like such a fundamental like, oh, I'm bad at making myself do the things I know I want to do.
My natural state is apathy.
Yeah.
Is to not try.
Yeah.
I like being comfortable. And it's very comfortable to not try and do things.
Yeah.
But you know what else happens when you don't try and do things? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know, I feel I've been living that.
You were talking about execution.
Yeah.
And the problems of executing things and striving for a certain type of success or perfection with that thing. It's hard to keep executing things when you're not reaching
the
potential
dissonance between your taste and your
yes
ability.
Yes. I wrote this on March 19th of this year. It's called Use the Stickers. I buy stickers.
Okay.
I love the creativity, the humor, and how much something so minimal can say.
But until recently, I had never used them. Ever peel the back off and put the stickers on a thing. I would keep my stickers in a little folded up brown paper bag, and whenever I wanted to enjoy them or reminisce about where I got them from, I'd pull it out, shuffle through them, and then pack it back up, waiting. Just waiting for the perfect moment. No, not a moment, a thing. One day I would acquire an unknown perfect thing to put most of my collection on. Could a thing speak louder to who a person is at their absolute core than that? And the sick thing is, I only stopped being like that because I finally found that unknown perfect thing. My flight case for my camera gear. Perfect because a messy sticker collage only makes it cooler than it already is. And it's already pretty fucking cool. A case full of videography equipment that I take with me on my job as a videographer for stand-up comedians. I wish it was because I had learned something or because I had come to some epiphany about using the things I'm afforded instead of saving up for when things are perfect. It worked out with the stickers, but how much have I missed out on because I was too concerned with if the timing was right, the setup was pro enough, etc., etc. Just use the stickers. With comedy, you have a voice, something to say, stage presence. You're comfortable up there and you know you're funny. Peel the back off. Do the work to be able to enjoy this sticker. Write, practice, perform. Podcasts, you have pro equipment, experience, and expertise, know-how, great ideas for content, and a network of friends and colleagues ready and willing to be involved. Peel the back. Use the sticker. It's the peeling of the back off the sticker where my hesitation lies. Yeah, you can change your mind and you might get the back of that sticker back on if you do it right away, but the sticker will never stick right now. Stickers know. They know when their adhesive has been exposed to the air, and if you don't stick it soon after, they get angry and they spite you by not sticking one. And because you couldn't execute perfectly, an idea goes unfulfilled. But with ideas, Execution is how you work towards perfection. Repeated execution. You can't think your way into perfection. You have to execute, fail, get better, execute, and repeat until finally you maybe get close to touching perfection.
Use the stickers.
How long have you been journaling for?
That I've never journaled.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was just like a very specific.
So I guess this is journaling.
Kind of seems like journaling.
It's interesting.
You have a book of your thoughts.
No, this is so I have many books of many thoughts. I am one of those guys who I love notebooks.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who
Do
I always have this pen on me.
Oh, nice.
I bought a very nice pen and it's got a great patina now, and so I'm always on the look for a new notebook. Yeah. So I'm one of those guys who's got 1,000 notebooks with 1,000 times 3 or 4 pages in, and then abandoned notebook.
My strat, because like I get so frustrated if I'm like out and I don't have something to write. I don't like writing the thingies on my phone.
Yeah.
My strat is I just have so many notebooks all around. I don't have any dedicated like company notebook, and like just the with the hopes of like one is laying around as I try to leave the house and I can grab it. And there's so many I have that are like there's like pages skipped. The writing is upside down half the time. Like you get through it. I had started writing from the other side. And
My solution was to get a wallet that has a little notebook and a little pen, and that's my wallet. I feel like a grandpa in the 1970s because my wallet is so big.
I was briefly doing a little purse. My friend like got me this like little bag from Thailand, and I was gonna do this, and I was going around with it, and I might start doing that again. This is, you know.
I would love to do something like that. It's just my ADHD is like, I'm never going to remember. Just grab that every time. Let's talk motivation. Because you've said some things. You've said you lack the discipline.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like be honest with myself with those things. And like talking motivation, I know that like motivation's not even the thing to go for, right?
Well, I'll tell you what you mean.
Because like if you're fueling yourself off motivation, you're gonna lose motivation some days, and that's exactly what happened. And like
go even further, because I still don't understand what you mean. If you're fueling yourself with motivation, you're getting.
If you're fueling yourself with motivation as opposed to like discipline, like that's.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm kind of going for. This is not
because you have to have motivation to get to discipline.
That's true.
You have to. They're intrinsically.
It's kind of like an investment, I guess. You're like investing your motivation into giving yourself a routine and discipline and stuff, and that's where I've fallen short.
Tell me, let's break down what discipline is. Shake. What is discipline, do you think? I can say it in 9 words.
Okay, I think it's doing it when you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say discipline is doing something you don't want to do.
Beat you by 2 words.
Yeah, there you go. Tell me about things that you do that you don't want to do. Something like, and I don't mean like, every night when I go home to my parents' house, I got to change the calendar. I mean something regularly, every week. Something you're doing that you don't want to do.
I've been better about going to the gym. Yeah. I'm still not the best, but like there are days when I sure would like not to be in that stinky room.
What's the end goal at the gym?
To be ripped and jacked and have a shredded bod.
Okay. Is that it? Is it health? Is it to stay healthy?
Genuinely, it is. I would like to. I'm kind of on that like. Is it Socrates who's like, it's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the strength his body is capable. I'd like to see. Well, it could be kind of cool to see myself like in some level of fitness. I've never been like fit. I've like been skinny, but I've never.
That difference is fun.
Oh yeah, I've never been like I take off my shirt and I'm like cool. So I think that's kind of the goal. I don't need to be...
So you do want to be shredded?
I do want to be visibly fit. Yeah, I don't need to be anything crazy.
Do you want your t-shirts to be tight on your arms?
I don't need them like Goodwill Hunting type, but like Yeah, I do roll these up sometimes. Actually, I do a little cheating.
Oh, is that why people roll it?
I don't know. It's just maybe it's just style, but for me, I am cheating a little bit and trying to.
I knew a guy in my late high school and early 20s who I'm not going to say his name, but he was pretty vain.
Sure.
And he was a decent looking guy.
For sure.
But I used to catch him all the time just going, and he was like rail thin. I mean, he was a very skinny guy.
Okay.
He is a nationality that is known for being very skinny.
Okay.
But he would be like looking at his arm, like he'd be looking at his arms like he was jacked. He would like go to mirrors and be like this, and I would always be like, dude, like, listen, you're a fine looking guy, but like you are not ever going to be this guy.
I'm not that, but if I'm walking and I'm next to, if it's like sunny out, and I'm walking next to like a kind of tinted.
Oh yeah, you catch your reflection. I have a funny story about catching yourself in the reflection, and
I feel like I might have heard this, but go.
You probably
We'll
have.
see. We'll see.
But they haven't.
No. I still want you to.
Where would you have heard it?
I feel like you told it to me. Were you within a vehicle? Oh, maybe it's a different thing. Just go ahead.
I feel like so at the beginning, I'm in a vehicle.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I was a senior in high school, by the way, just so you know, show etiquette. If you've heard a story before and you realize up top, just let them go.
Yeah. And so actually, shut up. I've heard this before. So we've had this conversation before. Don't want this topic. Next one. Talk about,
dude. But you want to hear the story?
I absolutely.
I know. Yes. Okay, so I'm a senior in high school. I have my first real girlfriend. They were all rubber before, but still warm. I would fill the bathtub and let them soak for beforehand. But she lives in Chicago and I live in Madison, and so I'm going back and forth from Madison to Chicago like all the time. Like I think every other weekend I'm basically down there sleeping to their parents' house. And so I go down for Thanksgiving, and on the way down there for Thanksgiving, I blow a tire and then sit on the side of the road for 6 hours because my sister has my tire iron. Before finally an Illinois toll worker comes by and is like, hey, I'll change your tire for you, and I get back on the road. And when I show up to Thanksgiving 6 hours late, the first thing that happened, I ring the doorbell, and her little 3-year-old cousin opens the door and immediately punches me in the balls.
It's a perfect ending to a perfect day. You just can't get any better than that. And so then, we spend the weekend together, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, and so there's a lot of food involved. You're eating a lot. Now, something that you should know about me, and I think it's probably something that, if we're all honest, it's true of all of us. I don't like pooping in other people's bathrooms. Especially the bathroom of a brand new girlfriend.
And she has a very small house and a single bathroom that's like right off of the main area. And I was not going to poop at her house. And I also wasn't going to poop in a public bathroom in Chicago. And so like I would just 2 days is not that big. I'll get home and poop it really like a day and a half, right?
You got a lot of space in there.
Yeah, I'm big. I'm 6'6".
So I go 3 days just holding it. Just clenching for dear life, right?
But it's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm eating a lot of food and I'm not pooping. Yeah. And so by the end of it, I've really got to make a boom boom. Yeah. I actually call it moving buses because I used to be a manager for a bus company, and and so I was a dispatcher manager. And so like if I had to go take a dump, I didn't want to go on the radio and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go pinch a loaf. Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I would say, hey guys, I got to move some buses around the parking lot. If you need something, give me a call. Yeah. So moving buses, it kind of works.
Why would you tell them to give you a call when you're taking a shit?
Well, I'm the man. If there's an emergency, they gotta.
You were gonna.
What, you think they're gonna smell it through the phone? I'm not like.
I guess like, what would you be able? I guess you could talk them through it, and you're like, there's like noises in the back. There's like splashing in the back.
Let me make it. Okay, this is gonna. It was night. It was 11:45 at night. I was the only person at the base, and so if there was a real emergency, I would have to call real bosses. Yeah, I was like a nighttime supervisor. I wasn't. I didn't have.
You'd be like the 911 dispatcher, but you'd be on the toilet.
Yeah.
Connect you to.
So wasn't moving buses all weekend, but eating a ton of food because it's Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. And so the best thing about coming back from Chicago is the Belvedere Oasis.
The Belvedere Oasis is great because it's got a gas station. It's got Panda Express. At the time, it had Krispy Kreme donuts. It was awesome. It had bathrooms, a men's room and a women's room, and then it had 2 glorious bathrooms called the family bathroom, where you can take your family for some reason, I assume. So before I get to Belvedere Oasis, I fill up with some gas right by my girlfriend's house, and I bought a Dr. Pepper. Then I get on the interstate, and I open the Dr. Pepper, and it had been shooken up.
And when I opened it in the car, it spilled on my hands, and my hands were all stapled. And so I was like, I couldn't wash, they got all sticky. And so when I get to the Belvedere Oasis, I'm like...
You know the thing, that weird body thing where as you get closer to a toilet that you will use, things like just start loosening up. And like every quarter mile, it's like, oh, clench a little harder. And so I am just ripped to get to the Belvedere Oasis. I cannot contain myself, literally.
I get out of the car and like waddling up to the, because when you're, I'm clenching the whole way, you can't run. And so I get into the Belvedere Oasis and I walk past the food court. I go right to the bathrooms, into the family bathroom, open it, close the door, lock it.
The greatest thing about the family bathroom is the outside door locks. You can lock that door, the sink, the urinal, the stall. You're alone, unless you have your family with you. So I go into this bathroom, I lock that door, I turn on the water and wash my hands because nobody wants to do what I'm about to do with sticky hands. And I don't know why I did this, but I, for some reason, took the time to adjust my hair, kind of like splash some water on my face, and admire myself in the mirror. And have you ever had one of those days where you're really feeling yourself? Well, I was having one of those days. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and just like this, I said,
"You look good."
And then I turned to the stall, because that's why I'm here, let's be honest. I turn and I push. The door is stuck. It happens. It's an old bathroom. Push a little harder. Door is still stuck. I then pound on the door, because I'm impatient now. It's been 3 fucking days.
Your butthole's looking at your underwear like, you look good.
Yeah. And so that's really funny. And so I wrap my hands around the top of the door and I shake it violently. And just like this say, "Open up!"
And I heard, "Hee." And that's when I realized this door is not stuck. This door is locked. And you know how a bathroom stall, they have that space in between the door and the rest of the stall? If you kind of do one of these, you can see everything. So I did one of these, and there's just this tiny, little, feeble old woman shaking in a ball on the toilet. And I am fucked. Everything replays in my head.
She hears the door open. She hears it lock. She hears the sicko wash his hands and then say,
"You look good." And then a psychopath tries to break down the door of the stall that she is occupying. Everything that has transpired adds up to sexual assault. And I realize this as an 18-year-old, fresh-faced, barely can grow a beard kid. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Chicago jail. So who cares about a clench at that point? I ran as fast as I could out of that family bathroom, past the Krispy Kreme donuts, past the Panda Express, and into the other family bathroom, where I was finally able to grace the throne, as it were.
So had you heard that story before?
No, I haven't. That's completely not something I'd heard.
I was like, I don't know. There are versions of that story online for my old show.
I thought you were gonna talk about. This must have been someone else. Where like it's so much more mild. Where like they're in their car and someone comes up to the car and starts like looking at the reflection.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
I know. It like rolled down the window. That was all I thought it was. I didn't think you were invading an old woman's most private and maybe her last moments. I bet she realized you were just making mistakes.
I'm sure, but almost since the day it happened, I've had this fantasy of like,
fantasies are at work.
Okay, it's funny. I literally this week in my comedy notes, I just wrote down that fantasy just means imagining something in your head. We give it the connotation of sexual. Fantasizing just means imagining. That's it.
Fantasizing means imagining something sexual.
No, it does not. Look it up.
It's one of the elements of it. Things can have multiple definitions, and one of them is 100%. I guarantee it's like the second definition.
Imagine an Austin fantastic views or ideas.
I guarantee it's like the second definition.
Huh? That's the only definition.
What is this? Merriam-Webster. What is that? What's that?
You were like, it's guaranteed second. The only definition is what I said.
I still feel like accepted definition. Words Merriam-Webster doesn't define how we mean things. It just defines what Merriam-Webster thinks things are.
I don't think core definition. It's an implication. It's not a definition. People use it to imply sexual. Yeah, you can use that word to imply sexual stuff. It does not inherently mean sexual stuff. Anyway, almost since
I
day
just looked this up.
almost since day one, I've had this fantasy of like scrolling channels and seeing this old woman on Oprah going, and then this psycho tried to break down the door, or like just walking down the street and hearing her side of the story, and me being like, no, listen, no, I get to move a bus, you know?
Yeah, you probably see her on like Dateline or something where she's narrating the story and then it does a reenactment.
But she's on her face.
She's the worst guy. Yeah, she's a.
Is this good? Right here? Yeah, well, you know, we'd been traveling quite a bit that day. We were excited to see the signs for the Belvedere Oasis. Mom was really excited to get some Krispy Kreme donuts. But we all needed the bathroom. Mom had a little bit of a shy bladder, and so she used the family bathroom because you can lock the outer door. Well, if we'd known what we know now, my mom might still be with us.
Yeah. Fantasizing is sexual. It's okay.
So again,
You walk up to a person and say, "Hey, I fantasized about you last night." You think they think, "Oh, I just imagined you in my head. I just like pictured you."
Words have definitions, connotations, and intentions. That words have all these different things, but connotations are not definitions. I can use a word to make a connotation, to imply something, but it doesn't mean that my implication is the actual definition of the word.
Well, I don't want to be mean to you on your own podcast. I'm gonna think of the best analogy by the end of this, and it's gonna crush you.
We're gonna translate all of that to. I don't want to continue to prove myself wrong here.
Listen, when I hit this analogy, it's gonna go crazy.
Let's talk about discipline some more. This is gonna be such a fun edit. Oh my god.
I'm hard right now. I think to be so strict on what a definition is inherently like ignoring the realities of language.
Autism.